It was wild. I mean, it was just so different. So we first get there and it was so hot. First thing you notice is that all the cars, there's no rules seemingly. I mean, cars are just driving everywhere and there's scooters like cutting everybody off. It's just totally wild. It's so much fun. You'll have the option for sure of eating the weirdest, gnarliest foods, you know, you can imagine. I've eaten every single part of a chicken from like the beak down to the feet, you know, literally every single part and all the guts and stuff. All the insides and intestines. And then same thing with a goat, same thing with a dog. There was a point in time where I was really interested in eating every weird thing that I could possibly get my hands on. So, you know, every time that like cow brain was offered to me or like goat colon or like, you know, dog eyes and just, you know, I eat it all. I don't know, it's a cool thing to do. Dog is a pretty, you know, not normal one. You'll have eyeballs of goats and dogs and you'd never eat the cats. The cats over there are like really disgustingly gross. So no one touches the cats. Horse torpedo, just horse in general. They make the best drinks. By far. When I came home, that was like my #1 goal, is to learn how to make all these drinks that they made in Indonesia because they're so tasty and so healthy. It's like going to Jamba Juice every day, you know? They're just fruit all over the place. And so you can get mango smoothies. There's all kinds of fruits there that don't exist here, really. You can get extremely tasty drinks. It is really possible to eat healthy over there. There was a period of time for like 8 months where I wasn't sick. Ever. You can live really healthy lifestyle over there. There's like no reason to ever spend more than $5 a day. That's a lot of money. If you have $1, it's similar to having $10. It's like taking whatever fortune you may have and multiplying it by 10, and that's how much you can like buy. First of all, it's packed. Like packed. It's the most densely populated, has the most densely populated islands in the world. Indonesia, there's not space. There's people everywhere. There's buildings and huts and just like, I mean, it is packed full of people. For the Indonesian people, they generally live in really small houses. You still don't have toilet paper. For things like shopping, in every city that you go to, you're always going to have a really nice, like Western style grocery store. So that's, you know, food's really easy to pick up on. But the best is food on the street, by far. The food on the street is so ridiculously good, and yet at the same time, when you first get there, it took me probably a month to really start liking the food. It's really different, really spicy. The water that they give you, it's boiled to burn off like any impurities or any bacteria or whatever. So you're eating like really spicy food with really hot water and it's like really hot outside. And so you're just sweating bullets. Always sweating. Doesn't matter if it's nighttime, you're like constantly sweating. They have these things called Indomarts all over the road, and so like you're constantly buying water bottles and like, you know, getting drinks and stuff and ice cream. You see a lot of manual labor. They're really relaxed, for sure. What you see for breakfast, you could very easily have for lunch and very easily have for dinner. I mean, there's like, for some reason, you know, here it's like we have certain foods that are breakfast foods and lunch foods and dinner foods. There it's like just food. And my parents got like really worried about this for a long time, and I was like worried at first for sure. It just didn't make sense how they could do it, but they'll leave the food out. They'll make it in the morning. They'll leave the food out under these like glass shelvings, and you can like see and you can like choose what you want. It's like a buffet style almost. But they leave it out all day for like hours and hours. And so the food that you're eating in the morning is legit like later on. You're eating, you know, it was made that more like dinner time, you're eating that same food. I don't know how that works sanitary wise, but it does. A lot of fried foods. I was kind of surprised, like Indonesia's a lot of islands. I thought there'd be lots of different kinds of fish. You really only eat catfish for some reason. It's good. The catfish is good. Food's really inexpensive. You can find awesome food on the street for practically nothing. There's a city called Solo in central Java. I lived on $1.20 for like 3 days. Not a problem. I mean, I was eating maybe not quite as much as I would have normally, but in Solo at least you could get a meal for 25 cents to 20 cents and it'd totally fill you up, and it's like a totally awesome meal. Really good. The modes of transportation over there, they're called angkots. Angkots are basically like minivans that have been gutted. They're like the Mystery Machine in Scooby-Doo, like that kind of size and shape, you know, but just gutted, and there's 2 benches on the inside, and so you're sitting like knee to knee with people on like, you know, someone's sitting right here and I'm sitting right here, and it's just cramped. Like, I mean, you are just like huddled up, and it's really hot and it's dirty, really dirty. By that I mean there's just trash everywhere. You know, you're looking out the side of the road and there's rivers with like huts on stilts basically made out of kind of bamboo and corrugated metal and just really run down looking places. So you get a sense that it's a really third world country. You can't do a single day like real justice. You can't, as much as I tried to really fully describe what Indonesia was like to my parents, and like I'd write these epic emails. It was really fun, and I'd tell them all the cool experiences of that week. You have to go to really experience it, or to like really understand it. It's night and day from America.